Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome. It's Pip here from Card Making Know-How and QueenPipCards.com. Welcome. It is my Make With Me Monday. So today we are going to make one of these lovely kits from Stampin' Up. I'm going to go hands down. Please do chat with me. Say hello. Tell me if you've got this kit and that you're crafting along with us. I'm just going to go and put my light on. Actually, it's a bit dark. Bear with me a sec. Oh, it's a bit better. It's a bit brighter now. Oh, you can see me. Let's move me. Right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and I am not in funny out of sync. I noticed that the last video was out of sync, so I've changed my audio. Hopefully it's all good to go. Alrighty, so let's go hands down. So this is our kit for today. It comes in this lovely box, and it is all packaged up inside, and it's called the Pop-Up Pals Kit. Oh, sorry, it's a bit bright. Um, just with my lights. There we go. So it's called the Pop-Up Pals Kit, and funnily enough, it makes pop-up cards. So there's a clue in the title there. So hopefully people are going to join us. Um, this is it's only the second time I've been doing this for a while. So this is my kind of live monthly Make It With Me monthly Monday video. Hello. Hello, we've got people joining us. We've got Celie and Ange. Hello, 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 hello. I hope that you've all got your kits with you and that you're going to be making along with me. But if you haven't, then you can just watch and learn and have a look at it and see what you like, see what you think. If you like this kit, you can order it from me. You can either go to my store here, or if you just change the word store for kits, you'll go straight to the kits section of my store. So you can grab it there if you want to. Okay, so what do we get in the kit? We get some double-sided sticky tape. We get some very cute. Oh, look at these. Oh, these are cute, aren't they? So monkeys with bananas, a unicorn sitting on some clouds. That's adorable. Uh, some dinosaurs, I think. That's a pterodactyl. I don't know what that one is, but that's a steggy. And then a little dog with a cat sitting on its head. That's very cute. Okay. We get some pretty envelopes. All the same. They're nice. We get some pop-up elements. Here we go. There's a monkey. All right. We get a card base. We get another card base. These are all different. We get some more pop-up elements, I believe. And then another card base. And some more pop-up elements. And another card base. Excellent. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. It's going to make 4 cards. Okay. So it's a smaller kit because it only makes 4 cards, but that's because they are more complicated. And then you get this sheet, which includes all of the words. So we've got "Have a Magical Birthday." That's one. Let's get that one out. Guessing that goes with the unicorn. You're my best friend. Going to make a guess. Going to guess it goes with the dogs and the cats. It's your birthday, go bananas. Can we guess where this one's going to go? Go on, make a guess with me. I'm thinking monkey, right? I'm thinking monkey and bananas. There we go. And your dynamite. That's got to be with the dinosaurs, right? Oh, it's so easy. I love a kit that's this easy. Okay, and then we get a piece of backing board just to keep it all safe. And then we get our instructions. Okay, so every kit comes with a set of instructions, and we're going to make these 4 cards. So let's crack on. The fact of the matter is, it tells you how to make everything. Okay. Now, I have made pop-up cards before, so I'm kind of hoping that I mean, I've not actually made these ones before. I've made my own pop-ups before, so I'm hoping that I can follow the instructions well enough. I think I can. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to make it as if you were making it, right? Straight out the box. Who knows what's going on? Okay, so the first thing we need is we need our base, which is the one with all the bananas on it, which makes sense. And look, it's got all the bits inside, including some helpful, like, guide places, I think. This is where the pop-up mechanism works. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I happen to have a bone folder. I like to just make sure that my cards stay closed. Okay, so that's my base. Then you're going to need this one with all the bananas on. Okay, and you're going to attach that to that. And then we're going to attach the bananas sentiment across there. Now, we haven't got any, shock horror, no dimensionals. We've only got tear and tape. But, you know, that's okay. We can go with that. So, first thing we do to get our tear and tape, and we're going to tape this bit down. So, I'm going to teach you a little trick if you've got tape. You literally just tear it and then whack it on. I always do it so there's a gap here, and then this would have been the gap there. So on each of the lines, don't put your tape all the way to each corner. Allow the next corner, like the end corner, to be filled with the piece of tear and tape from the other side. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Can you hear me okay, guys? Just tell me that you can hear me all right, because I'm not getting any other comments or anything. I just want to make sure that everybody can. I've just changed my sound, so I just want to make sure it's okay. So let me know if it isn't. And in fact, Stampin' Up have given you exactly the same, kind of the same idea. They've put these as long across the top and then two in the middle, but I like to keep my corners. The reason why I like to keep my corners is, do you remember I say whenever you're buying a kit to add one of these? Hi, Lynn. Oh, perfect. Okay, lovely. So, remember I always say to you, if you're buying a kit, take your pick. Not as loud as normal. Yeah, I think that's this. Let me just try and bring that a little bit closer to my mouth. Is that a bit better? I don't want to be shouting at you. It is slightly softer, I think. Let's just do this. Yeah, it seems to be there. It's just... hopefully. Well, we'll see. See how you go. Keep telling us. You can hear me. Okay, Deborah says she can hear me. That's good. Good evening from New South Wales. Yes, Tar. Okay, good. All right. So it's when I turn away, I think that's the issue. Because normally my this... oh, look, you've got my... now you've got it right in front of my head. Let's try and put it over this side. Can I put it over this side? Don't have a very long lead on it either. That's the problem. I need to get a bigger lead. So can you see how I've left? So I've taken the tape from just inside that first line to the edge, and then I've taken it from the edge of that tape to the edge, and then from the edge of that tape to the edge. So basically, you've got these four corners of tape. Okay, if you do it the other way, you only have them on, but they're all on one piece of tape, and I find that a bit tricky. So take your pick tool, get the pointy end out, and then just fold back one corner of your backing tape and leave it so that a little tiny bit hangs out over the top like that. Okay, and then do that for each of the corners. And this is a great way for people who maybe struggle to line things up, can't get their layers square, but they don't like wet glue because they get it everywhere. Okay, so this is a little tip. A little tip if you're using tape, fold back just the corners, okay, from each of the four corners. And then when you position this, I don't think it matters. No, this doesn't matter which way up it goes. When you position this on your card, most of the tape isn't sticky yet because most of the tape has still got its backing on it. So that means that you can wiggle it around until you're confident that that is where you want it to be. So I'm confident that that is now straight. Checking on her camera as well as on her eyesight. Then you hold it in place, stick down that corner and just pull these ends out. Okay, and what that does is it enables you to keep it secure and straight, and you don't get any issues with your fronts moving. Okay, so that's a handy tip for putting on with tape. Same with the piece here. Now, because it's tape, they've said you don't need very much. They just say put it across the front. So we're just going to do that because I agree with them. It's not going to be, doesn't need to be, we don't need to worry about it getting squished in the post. Sorry, and I took that off willy-nilly, really fast, but you can do exactly the same if you want to, just with elements. So you could just do that and then just like move it around, work out where you want it to be, make sure it's in the middle, and then just whip it off. Okay. Take it out from under there, if you can get your finger under it. If not, take your pick under it. There we go. And then just pull. Okay, so you can do the same for elements. It doesn't have to be just for bases and backing pieces, but that then gets that sorted. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you like that tip. Okay, next up, we now need to, oh, look what Pip's done. Pip's made a boo-boo because I said it didn't matter which way up it was, but it does because these have to be at the bottom. Oops. Okay. So I can't show you that. This is going to be an upside down pop-up because now I've firmly attached. Let's see if I can get that off. Hang on, I'm going to get my heat tool out. This is what not to do when you do this kit. Let's just snap that for a minute. Ooh. Luckily, I think we might be all right. Let's just heat this up. So this is a new tip. Oops. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Careful. Don't burn your fingers. Second tip of the day, when you put your piece on upside down, if you've used tape, good news is you can take it off again with a heat tool. Okay, this is now a bit squishy. It's a bit squishy, but it should still stick again. So make sure, first of all, that your tabs are where they need to be, which is at the bottom, so that you can attach your tabs. And the way I realised that was because the tabs are at the base of his body here, so they must go at the bottom here. Okay, so there we go. There's my first mistake of the day. Now I haven't got my nice thingies to make sure that it's going to go in the right place, so I'm going to wing it. There we go. Phew, kind of saved. See, I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes too. Right, okay, so now we have our inside. We've got our outside done. Okay, so now we're going to do our inside. And that'll just flatten out if I put it underneath something. Got loads of bits on my desk. I don't know where they're... Right, okay, so inside, now we need the actual mechanism. And this is where we need to get a little bit interesting because can you see it's got all these additional score lines like here and here, and then there's another one here and here. This is what causes the pop-up to actually pop up, but I need to understand which way. So crease. Okay, it says crease, but they're in different colours. So what do the different colours mean? So let's go and have a look at the instructions. Is there a different, does it tell you which way? It's all in just different languages, so that's not helpful. Let's have a look here. Okay, so you can go and have a look at the kits if you want specifically, but I'm just going to have a look and see how it looks on the picture. Where's the picture? Oh no, they don't show the picture. Okay, they do show the picture here. All right, so here, have a look at this picture. See, this one goes in and this one comes out. So that suggests to me that red I don't know how that works. Okay, this is weird. So they're suggesting that this bit comes, red goes in. So this goes in. And this goes in, and this goes in. Okay. You can only go so far in before you hit the edge. All right, so that goes in. Would make sense because he'll pop up that way. These definitely go back. Okay. Which don't seem to match the colours on the thingy at all. But anyway, they've got to go back in because that's how he goes. And then these must come forward. No, back, forward, forward, forward. Is that right? I would have thought. I would have kind of thought. So we kind of have this sort of shape going on, right? So this folds in. Okay. And then, so this folds out, this folds in. Does that make sense? And they're saying that this folds in, but that seems a little... Okay. Either way, he's got to be able to fold flat to go in our card base. So that would kind of make sense that he goes flat like that. I think if he went flat like that, he would pop out too far on the card. So this is always a good answer, good test. So if, when this is in, he's going to stick out, that can't happen, right? So, because otherwise you're not going to get him in the envelope. So this has to fold inwards so that when the card is shut, he's basically here. Yes? Right? Right down to the base here. So he's basically going to fold out like that. And then when this opens, he's going to pop out like that. And when it shuts, he's going to pop in like that. And when he opens, he's going to pop out like that. Okay? Does that make sense? So you need to just make sure how he's going to fold before you attach anything. Get those folds nicely creased. And then we're going to put the tape on the back of these strips here. And I would make sure that you do it as close to that fold line as possible. Okay, because you don't want it lifting off the card. All right, so as close to that fold line as possible. That's my tip for these. Oh, Lynn's bought the kit. She's looking forward to putting it together. Excellent, yes. There we go. All right. Well, you're going to get all the tips today. And then what I would do is I would take off one side, okay, and position that. So you need to make sure that it's right down to the bottom. It's in the center. It's not over the central line. It's on that central line. Okay. And as straight as you can get it. Okay. There we go. That looks right. And then take off this piece here, off the other tab, and then fold the card over to meet it. That's the easiest way I've found of doing pop-ups. You fold one to meet the other. So now, when you do that, oh no, his arms aren't opening. Okay, kinda. Yeah, his arms are going to need a little bit of manoeuvring, I feel. Yeah, they kind of do it. You have to open it. So close it like that, and then open it like that. Yay! And then he pops up. So then you get your pop-up monkey. I mean, you could make this one stick out this way, but it won't fit nicely. It won't sit properly. So definitely fold that one in. So there we go. There's our first one. Having managed to completely mess up the positioning to start off with, I've managed to get it right in the end. And if you're wondering where you would write on this card, you could write under here, but obviously know when his arms are out. You know, make your writing around the design, or you could just add an extra piece, or just write on the back with a Sharpie or something. Not a Sharpie because it might go through, but write on your back with a good pen. And if you've got, like me, if you did it the wrong way around like me, and you have any of these little marks left, you need to grab a glue eraser from my Amazon store, link of which is in the description below. You can hop over to my Amazon store and just grab a little not ink eraser, glue eraser, and you'll be able to lift off any sticky bits that were left behind. Phew. so I didn't ruin my card. Excellent. So that's that. That's the first one. All done. And then that would be a lovely surprise, wouldn't it? When you open that, it's your birthday, go bananas, and then whee! Just help that one over a bit. Excellent. That's cool. Right. Pop-up card number 1. Cool. Next up, we're going to do dinosaurs, which is this background. Now, let's have a look. Which way round does this need to go? So we're just doing the tabs. So here's the your dynamite. Here's the front. So we've got the front piece and the sentiment. And then here's the back. Here are the 2 elements for this. So you've got this kind of this shape. I don't know what that is, like an upside down heart. Okay, like that. And that's going to attach on here. Okay, so just so that you can see, that's going to attach on there like so, I believe. Yeah, so that's going to pop that out. And then it looks like I need a horn. Oh, there's a horn. Okay. Horn. Tape, tape. Okay, this is the mouth. There's like a slot in here. What's that slot for? Oh, that's for this. So that goes in there. Okay. And then we tape that on the inside. So that's his little horn on the inside. Okay. And then this is going over the top here. And these horns are attached, oh, I see, to these horns here, here and here, like so. Not sure how that gets shut up. This is going to be interesting. That's his mouth, basically. So that's another piece of his mouth. And that's supposed to pop up. Okay, this one's got me a little bit stuck. Because if that goes down there, it doesn't look like it does go down there. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, no, it does. Goes that way down there. Okay, so that goes that way down there. Oh, okay, I see. So that folds that way. These fold this way. And then when it pops up, it pushes that out. Okay. Okay, we'll see how we go. Let us figure this bit out. So this bit, first of all, let's just stick this down on here. This isn't really going to pop up this little bit. Thanks, Angie. Yeah, I did recover it quite well, I feel. So this bit we're going to stick here. I'm going to put that over like that. And I think that's going to fold over. Yeah, I'm going to fold that over like that. There we go. So that's in there. We're okay with that. I'm going to come back to that because I haven't done the front. Let me do the front first. Let's make sure I keep it the right way up this time. So make sure you open the inside and go, oh yes, it has to be that way. Right. Yes. So on the front of here, your dynamite. So this is the same. This is going to go on here. Now it looks like they've used dimensionals, but there's no dimensionals in the kit. So you can either choose to use dimensionals that are from your own stash, or you can just carry on just using the tear tape. Oh, that didn't go quite as long as I anticipated. Okay, so we're just taping up the edges like we did last time. This one's going to be a bit gappy, but it's fine. There we go. Oh, look, I went too long. Too long. We're going to have a bit of an issue with this one, but we'll give it a go. All right, there we go. Still going to do my corner thingies, but this one's a bit halfway down. That's fine. And then I'll take this one. Take this one. So just do your corners again, like we did before with your tape. It just takes a little longer. This is why I like using glue, because it's quicker. But, you know, pop this down. Make sure it's the right way up still. Yes. Pop this down. When you do that once, you don't do it again for a while. Okay. And then I'll just whip that out. Okay, so that's now nicely stuck. Get rid of all our trimmy bits. This on again with some tape. What's there? I cut my nails at the weekend and I can't now. Can't get my tear and tape off. Okay, you're dynamite. That's going to go there. Lovely. Okay, so that's the front done, because it's easier to do the front when it's not being attached with things that stick out. Okay, so this one has to fold this way. This one has to fold this way. It can't really fold any other way. And these kind of have to fold down, but I don't think they fold under. Actually, maybe they fold this way. Here we go. Now it's making more sense. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so the horns fold towards you. What if it went down? What if it went downwards? If it went downwards, would that work? No. Yes, no, no. It has to go that way, but then it won't fit. They don't actually fit on the tabs. That's my only concern with these. Because if you try and marry that tab up, that one doesn't fit over there. And if you do it that way round, that tab, you could do it that way round. And it still wouldn't marry up over there. So this is the bit I'm a bit confused about, is how this bit goes in. Because it seems to suggest it goes in that way, which is the way it would, that is the way it would fit. So they must go that way. Must go that way. Okay. So we're going to go that way, because you need to make sure it fits with the image. So let's get this longer line here. Okay. So this is it's going to kind of push out the front bit, I guess. That's what it's doing. Okay. So this way. Okay, so the point is going to go up in the middle. Yeah, I think I'm glad I'm doing it first for your sake as well, Lynn, to be honest. Right, so that's going to go up in the middle. So we're just going to take that off. And we're going to pop that onto that. Make sure it sits on that shape correctly. Okay. Then we're going to, when that closes up, oh, it'll just, okay, gotcha. Yeah, when that closes up, it'll just, see, it just fits in. It's tight, but it does just fit in. Okay. That was the bit that was confusing me. I was thinking it was going to stick out the bottom. Alrighty, so we close that one up to do the first piece, and then when that opens, it opens like that. Okay, good. And then these two horny pieces, if you'll excuse the expression, they're going to come that way. This is why it's great for a kit, because can you imagine trying to work that out yourself? To work out which way you want all these. Some people's brains work like that. My brain does not work in 3 dimensions. I'm a flat card girl. So, so now we're going to put this piece on. Okay. So we're going to attach this horn first. Put some tape on that. And again, make sure you've got tape along the length, but right up to that edge as well. Because it's actually the edge. Well, actually, in this case, it's all of it that's important. So this can go the whole length. So that's good. And then this one, but it is good to have it right by that line there. Okay, so for this, can you see we're going to line this horn up with this horn here. It's like stick by numbers, only they didn't put any numbers on it. I might write to them and say, do you know what? On pop-up cards, numbers would be good. There we go. Oh, it's a bit... No, it's too short. That's interesting. It's interesting. Needs to come right over to there. Okay, so make sure that you go right to the end. Even then, it's a little... might stick out a little bit. Might not when this side's in. Let's see. I think it kind of needs to be sort of there-ish. When we close that over, stick that down. There we go. So now when you open it up, ta-da! Look, he opens his mouth. That is cool, isn't it? Isn't that such a great pop-up card? Took a bit of time to get there, but we got there in the end, didn't we? Right? Okay. I'm going to have a swig of tea. I think I've deserved a swig of tea after that. I love all our top commenters. Ange is our top commenter so far. And Celie is number 2. Is that Kath? Kath. Okay. So, that's our dinosaur. Very cute. Pop that in an envelope. That is great. I really like that one. And I like to keep them like that because that way it keeps them nice and flat and closed. And you're not going to catch anything inside them if you've got them stashed somewhere. Okay. Right. Next up, you're my best friend. Oh, so cute. Look at that little dog. It's cute. Okay. So the pieces for this are a dog with a cat lying beside it. Okay, and a cat. Another cat. Double pop-up. Ooh, that's interesting. So, inside the card, which one is it? It's this one. So this is the card base. Inside here, oh look, we've got a dog lying on a rug of some description. And then the cat must come here somewhere. Okay, so we know what's going in there. We know that this is the way round it needs to be. So now we'll put this on. So this is our front. And again with the tape. What do you think of it so far? Something you would try? Now that I've shown you how? Deborah says she has 2 nephews who would love these cards. Yes. Yes, kids adore pop-ups because they're fascinated by the mechanism of them. I haven't got my second light on. Sorry if it's been a bit dark. Suddenly thought it was a bit dark. There we go. So yeah, kids especially love pop-ups. Or big kids. My hubby would love these. He likes a pop-up. Again, it's that engineering side of things. And I've got my nephew would probably, even though he's grand old age and now married, he's an engineer, so I'm sure he would also enjoy a pop-up card. Oh, I'm going to sit for a minute because I've been standing and I think I need to sit down for a second. Oh. So excuse me while I just drop my desk down. Oh. Yeah. Got had a little bit of a ongoing issue with my Achilles that's been that's flared up since I got my back sorted, because obviously everything's not in the right place, as it, or not in the wrong place, should I say, anymore. It's now in the right place. Everything's now, I'm able to stand up straight, which is great, and I love doing that. But it's left me with some ongoing niggles, and my Achilles is one of them. It's much better than it was though, for which I'm very grateful for my physio who sorted me out with those. Okay, so we're going to pop our little best friend down here. 2 best friends. Make sure it looks straight. It's kind of, well, To be fair, actually, I don't know if it is straight because that whole thing is a bit crooked, isn't it? I'm going to have to go straight to the card. I can't be dealing with it. Ooh, I can't be dealing with it a bit offset. That's my OCD coming out. If you're like me, I can cope with the lines behind it not being straight, but it has to be straight on the card. So I'm just checking. Yeah, he's straight. Okay, good. No need for to get the heat gun out again. All right, so then this one is going to go across the top there. So we'll just pop a bit of sticky tape over there. And it doesn't have to be straight. You can do it diagonally like that if you want to make sure all of it stays on. There we go. If you go over the ends when you're tearing it, just roll them in. It doesn't matter. You're my best friend. So adorable. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do this pop up. So now on our big dog, he's got two big folds. I think this one's easier. Thank goodness. It's got two big folds where his legs are. His legs? Yeah, his legs indeed. And then he's got one fold here, which I'm guessing goes outwards. Okay. Oh no, maybe it goes inwards actually. Yeah, he's going to have to go like that, isn't he? So then it's going to fold over like that. Okay, so he goes like that. So these attach to these. See these slightly lighter version of his leg, and then they've actually put his leg on the floor so that when he sits up, like when he pops up, he's actually lying on his leg that's flat on the floor. So let's pop tape along these. And again, these are long ones, so I would recommend you get them as close to that crease as possible. And then the next, even longer. If you go over a little bit, you can either fold it over or you can just chop it off like that. See, that's gone over a little bit too much. I'll just fold that over, it'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to do the big long one first, just so that I can fold that over so that it's not in the way. All right, so we're going to position this on here. Yeah. Like so. Like so. Yeah, like so. That looks good. That's looking good. And then this piece, we'll just take this bit off. Take this tape off. Oh no, I didn't do the, oh no. Oh, what did I forget to do? Make sure it lines up with the crease. Make sure it lines up with the crease pip. So that has to line up with that crease. Okay, can you see? I needed to make sure that actually it comes here. So it's a little bit further along than you think. Just about there. Just make sure that it doesn't go over that crease line. So that's fine. And then now we can fold that over and that should stick it in the right place. There we go. Look at him. Oh, look. Look at him popping up. Isn't that cute? So cute. All right. And now we have the cat. And the little cat basically does, as far as I can see, exactly the same. In the same way. Right. No. Pops out the opposite way. Okay, pops out the opposite way. All right. One goes forward, one goes back. And it's all just dependent on angles. That's all it is for pop-up cards. It's just getting those angles right. To be honest, I love it when other people do it for me because it reminds me a bit too much of maths. Oh, I hated maths and physics and all that stuff. Oh dear, my sister was the physics buff. She was the maths genius. Me, not so much. Okay, I'm going to take the tape off both of these at the same time because it's so small. It's just going to be easier to deal with them like so. So we know the cat needs to fold out. We know the cat needs to be on that fold line. Okay, so we need to just position it carefully so it's on the fold line. All right, so it's on it but not over it, like so. And then close that over. And now, ta-da! So now we have a dog popping up one way and a cat popping up the other. Look at that. They're gorgeous. So there we go. That's our third one done. We're getting good at these. But isn't it just such a fun kit? And it is teaching you how they work and whether you want to work out your own ones afterwards. And if you do, good for you. Me, not so much. I do know how to do them, and I have done them. That looks like a top of a horse to me, so that needs to come this way. Okay. I have done them. I have created them. I do know how to do them, but man, they tax your brain. Okay. So I think this kit is just genius for people like me. So this is Have a Magical Birthday. I'm assuming that's going to go sort of there-ish. Okay, in the middle. Fair enough. Have a Magical Birthday. So we'll get that bit done first before we try and tackle the tricky bits. And as long as you keep going with your tape, just do what they say. Don't do any extras. You'll have enough. They've done a good job, I feel, of getting all of the pieces and all of that set up in this kit. And I think this kit's £14. I think it's not expensive for what I mean. Okay, you're going to say, "Oh, that's quite expensive for 4 cards." Yeah, I guess it is. But how much would you pay for those in the store? You know, my husband tells me when he has to go and buy me a card, he's paying, £4 or £5 just for a normal card these days, or pretty normal. Okay, a special card, but even so, So how much would one of these cost in the shops? They'd be like £6 probably. And that's just a lot of money. If you could make, here six times four is £24, and you're getting them for 14. So what's that? 3.50 each. I think that's really good value, to be honest, because they've done all this technical engineering for you, printed it, popped it into the thingy, got all the bits ready for you. I think that's good value myself. I think as sometimes if you don't want to do the complicated stuff, there's nothing wrong in buying it. It's like that's why I buy a bundle, right? Because half the time I don't want to be bothered fussy cutting everything out. So you buy the dies that go with the. Yeah, that's the only reason why we do it. We could cut it all out by hand, if you wanted to cut around a stamped image. But seriously, why? Why would you do that when you can get somebody to create the die for you and then just buy the die? So we're all guilty of cutting corners in various ways. Um, I could draw, but I can't. So I buy a stamp so that I can. Or it looks like I can. So, you know, why not buy a kit for pop-ups if you can't work them out yourself? That's what I say. So I think this is great. I wish I had some. No, actually, well, you never know. I might be now that they're married. Who knows? I might be getting some little great nieces and great nephews. Not saying anything. I don't know, but I would imagine at one point I will. Hopefully. So if I had a little great niece, she would love this. Wouldn't she? Or he? Because there's nothing wrong with boys loving unicorns too. They should do because they're marvelous things. Okay, now the next bit, the inside bit. So that's quite easy. Yeah, we've done that bit. Now the next bit is weird because it's got half a horse on one side, or a unicorn, should I say, and then half a feather on the other. So I'm guessing this unicorn has wings. Oh, it does. Oh, it has slotty wings. Okay. See how we're going up in progressively more complicated pop-ups. This one's fantastic. Okay, so there's our unicorn. Here's our unicorn's wings. Just pop them out gently so you don't tear anything. Make sure that you get all of those bits out nicely. They've done that well, actually. It's very firm. I like it. It's got a firm feeling to it. This one, look, this folds that way, I should imagine. And I think that's the bit that sticks on there. And then it's got a little slot in it here. And this has got it's got a hole for its leg. Hold on. This has got a little slot in it here. So I'm assuming that they slot together, like this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be... No. No tape. No tape on this bit. Oh, come on. There we go. So like when you slot it together and then it holds it nicely in place. There we go. So we've got on this side is the bent wing. On this side is the not bent wing. And then on this side, we've got the bent horse this way or this way. This way, I'm thinking. Okay. Like so. So we have this sort of shape. Okay. Do you see that? So we've got this kind of three-dimensional unicorn with wings. It's going to be interesting. So make sure that's right down. And then I'm guessing that this is going to go in here. Maybe this has to go. Okay, so it's going to come right out there. But when it's folded in, it's going to fold down that way. Okay, can you see that? So it's going to fold that way, like so. Look how they magically line up. See, isn't that just amazing? So they're going to magically line up, and then when it opens, it's just going to pop up like that. So we're going to do the horse bit first, I think. So the horse bit has tape along the legs and along this bit, but leaves the tail free. So let's do that bit first. I love the fact as well that they're double-sided. Do you know what I mean? So we'll put some along this line here. Oop. Yeah, okay. Maybe not quite so much. I'm just going to use a pair of one. Where's my glue scissors? And for those of you who are wondering, I found my snips, which is marvellous, because now they've been discontinued. I was going to miss those immensely. Right, and then we're going to pop some on the leg. So put those down there. Like so, and then just a little tiny bit on the top of this leg. There we go. Put that there. Right, and while it's flat, I'm now going to do the glue on this piece as well. So on this piece, we just go down the two wings. Personally, I think I might go... I think I might still do one this way. Let's turn that around. Do one this way. There we go. And then add that. You're all being very quiet. I guess you're all just watching, going, oh my goodness, how am I going to remember all this? Good thing is it's on YouTube, so you can just watch it back again. Whenever you get stuck, you can just say, how did Pip sort that bit out? And you can just have a look at it. There we go. All right, so that's that. So now we know how these go down. All right, let's do the horse side first, I think. So this looks more complicated to me. So we'll just pop this bit out there. There we go. Right, so that we have to make sure that it's going to be inside that, which actually on this one is not that difficult. It's just positioning it like so. Yeah, that looks right. There we go. And then this side is going to be like so. So I think actually How's that going to work? Yeah, if we fold that over like that, I think if I got that angled correctly, it's just going to line it. Ooh, yeah, you can't. You need to make sure it doesn't wobble. You need to make sure it's right down, crisscrossed over there, and down like so, so that when that comes over, it needs to come over a little bit. Is it going to line up on that? Yes, it's going to line up. Okay, good. Just to make sure that it lines up. There we go. All right. So then we'll fold that over. Dun dun dun. Moment of truth. Are you ready? Shall we do it? Shall we do it? Whee! Look at that. Have a magical birthday. And there is our lovely unicorn. Look at that. Isn't that great? It's kind of a mix between a unicorn and a Pegasus, isn't it? Because unicorns don't technically have wings, but it's a winged unicorn, I guess. So yeah. So it's a little. That's just brilliant. I love that. So there we go. What do you think of all of those 4 fabulous pop-up cards? I hope you've enjoyed watching that. If you have, don't forget, come back again next month. Oh, I was going to try and work out which one I was going to do. Which one am I going to do? Do you know what? I don't know which one I'm going to do because I haven't got one lined up yet. I'll pick one and I'll put something. Lynn says, "You did amazing. Helped me a lot. Thank you." Oh, good. I'm glad. So there's that one. We'll just get them all out because they look great. They look great like that, don't they? They just look so cool. I think this one's actually my favourite because I love how it roars. Arr, arr. That's great. And the unicorn's nice. And then the bananas one, despite this one, I'm not so keen on the fact that you just his arms back. Tease them back, tease them back. Come on. I mean, I guess it can't stay like that because they'll get bent. So you have to tease these ones back in. So I think that's probably the one that I it's okay, but it's not my favourite because then his arms are all up behind him. There we go. But I think I love all the other 3. I love them all. Love them all. Thank you, Ange. Thanks, Deb. Uh, Yeah, they are really cute cards, aren't they? So next month I'll be back again. I'll probably tell you what I'm using in my first week of the month video. So I'm back here again first Monday of the month of August. August already. First Monday of August, I'm going to be back and we're going to be looking at embossing. So yeah, we're doing embossing next month. The members have chosen, so we're doing embossing next month in the Card Making Know How Academy. And so I will be here doing some basic embossing stuff for you. Okay, heat embossing, just in case you were wondering. It's heat embossing next month. So, and then we'll try and and then I'll work out what kit I'm going to do next and let you know so that you can get it in, and you've got something to play with. Perfect. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again in August. Thank you very much. Take care for now. Bye.